What is going on today, guys? My name is Tomcat, and in this video, we are going to be checking out a brand new Jeep Gladiator mod, which I personally think is one of the most highly detailed mods that I've seen in MudRunner in a very long time. Now, this was built by Terminator X85 in collaboration with some other modders, and he did a absolutely wonderful job. The body looks great, the frame looks great, the suspension looks awesome. We're on these massive Maxxis tires. But anyways, the full build on this thing includes full beadlock wheels. It includes hydro steer, massive axles front and rear, coilovers, a Cummins diesel swap. This thing is outfitted and ready to go. So I'm going to throw the Artec rock sliders on it. You can put the Artec Industries banner on the windshield if you want to, but I'm not going to. I'm also going to put the bed and top on. You can run front doors if you want, but I'm not going to run them. And I'm also going to run the Warren Xeon winch. So now let's go ahead and get this thing fired up and see what it'll actually do off-road. Now, full disclosure for you guys, I have actually tried to record this thing probably, I want to say 3, maybe 4 times now, and it has, like, legitimately been, like, put it this way, I've tried to record this thing, like, 3 or 4 times now, and it's crashed the game almost every time. And I don't know if that's the vehicle itself or the game being finicky. I was trying to use some maps that I hadn't used in a long time, so that may have something to do with it. But so far, it's a lot softer than I thought it was going to be. The suspension setup is, oh my god, again? I'm not sure what was going on with that, but for some reason, Steam decided that it was going to disconnect. But regardless, this thing has, even though this is, like, one of the coolest suspension setups, because even though it's really soft, that basically allows you to, it's almost like it allows you to watch it work in slow motion. And it's an odd thing to describe, but the grip that this thing has is absolutely, like, it's absolutely off the charts. It's just like it walks everywhere. It walks everywhere, and it does it literally without even barely complaining. Well, I mean, I say barely complaining. It barely, like, even comes close to that. And I love how the exhaust shakes. I think that's a really cool touch. Really, really cool touch. Where does this go? I've never even been, well, I've probably been this way at some point or another, but I just haven't been this way in a long time. And can I just say, it handled going through that mud extremely well. I gotta say, this moves along the trail in a way that you would expect a build like this to actually move. The suspension articulates realistically. I mean, it actually looks like it's working. That's the biggest thing, is it looks and feels like it's working. I mean, that's pretty much, you know, tucking tire into the fender right there. And it's not super dramatic by any means, but at the same time, it looks like a real amount of flex. It looks like a realistic amount of flex, and it looks like something that you could see an actual modified Jeep Gladiator doing. And I think that that's what puts this thing on top in terms of Gladiator mods, is that this thing, it looks so good and it looks so realistic that you can't really get away from that. Just like you can watch the whole suspension just work and kind of undulate back and forth going down the trail. It's really satisfying to watch. Let's see how fast oh my god. Oof, that's a lot of power. Okay, that's a lot of power, and I don't need that much power in this thing right now. Holy crap, that's a lot of power. Way more than it needs, I'll tell you that. Oh, God. There we go. But you know what? I think it's honestly time for a change of scenery, because I want to put this thing to the test, and this map isn't really challenging it. It's really not. It's literally walking over everything. So we'll be right back, and we're going to go over to a map that's going to be a little bit more interesting and a little bit more challenging. Now, to finish off the rest of our testing, I've brought it out here to Smart19's map called Facility. Now, it's literally a test facility. Like, that's what it is, that's what it's called, and that's what it is for. So there's a couple of tests that I want to do that are in here, but really the main tests that I want to do are the trails. And I just kind of want to climb up on this just because it's there, and because this thing literally does it without even breaking a sweat. It'll probably do all of these without breaking a sweat, too. Let's go for the sharpest one first. Easy. Actually, you know what? There we go. Oh yeah, tires are the first thing to contact. It drags the frame a little bit, but not very much. Not enough to where it would make like that much of a difference at all. So now it's time to take this thing to an actual trail. God, I want to take this thing around a racetrack sometime because it is really fast. It's fast enough that I would call it properly quick. All right, so the trail with the pipes is probably one of the most difficult, and so that's where we're going first, as you would imagine. But the only thing that I can see hurting this thing out here is maybe the wheelbase. And we're literally already seeing the effect of that. So if this thing gets into an iffy situation because of its wheelbase, I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do about it. Because a long wheelbase rig like this, yes, it works really well for certain, oh God, for certain things and certain, you know, obstacles, but there's other obstacles where it'll get bound up really, really easily, and it'll pretty much get itself just into a bind and not be able to get itself out without winching, of course. So I'm going to try to keep the winching to a minimum, but I'm also going to try to get through the trail. So we're going to try and do a mixture of winching and actually, you know, trying to make our way through obstacles. So let's go ahead and first of all try to get ourselves to the left side. If I could get my rig over there. I think it's just one of those things where, like, you have to know the right line for each individual vehicle. And if you know that line, you're good. But, man, until you know that line, it can be really sketchy out here. This is definitely one of the most difficult and most frustrating, yet most rewarding trails that really is in the game right now. I mean, this, depending on the type of vehicle you're in, this particular trail is so challenging that you can get through it without winching. You just have to really figure out the line, especially based on the vehicle you're in. And there's a lot of trial and error involved in that. There we go. Cut back to the right. There we go. Get the front axle hooked. Trying to get the rear axle to come through. It's moving. The rear axle's actually hopping really bad. It's going to be the best way through here. I'm thinking stay right, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work. That'll work. Probably just get one side over that pipe, and as long as the frame doesn't catch, we'll be okay. Which we're lucky the frame didn't catch. Yeah, we're really lucky the frame didn't catch, because if the frame were to have caught, we would be in a whole different world right now, and we would still be stuck back there, that's for sure. Can we get through here? There we go. Just needed to angle the front axle just a little bit more to the left. Up and over. Easy. I'm thinking the water might actually be the better route. And I know that's kind of a weird thing to say because usually in this game the water is going to be the more challenging route, but I have a feeling it's going to pay off. That feeling may be inaccurate, we don't know yet, but I have a feeling it's going to pay off. Not bad. I mean, scraping up our entire passenger side, but such is life with off-roading sometimes. Oop. Caught a bunch of traction there for a split second and, like, shot forward. We're hooked on something. I'm not sure what, but we're hooked on something. Get back just a little bit further. Little bit further. Come on. Come on. Ah, that's not going to work. Wow, going into high literally does nothing. Absolutely nothing. The rear bumper's hitting. So you know what? The best thing we can do right now is literally... Oh, no! It's beached! Oh, that's going to be one of the first times I've had to really, like, pull the winch out of pretty much out of necessity that time. Because there's no way it was driving out of that. It was beached on the frame. God, that sucks. What are we stuck on now? Come on. Just ease it up and over the lumber. Ugh. So far, we've had to winch, what, twice? Twice. I think twice. Maybe 3 times, but I think we've only had to winch twice. Come on, don't get caught on the bumper again. Jeez, dude. Cut right and then cut back left. Still sketchy. Yeah, still sketchy. What I really need to do is get that driver's side front tire up onto this block on my left. But that's proving to be a little bit more challenging than I thought it was going to be. We're still stuck on something. No idea what, either. Yeah, the rear end is just bouncing. All right, I'm going to give in and winch it backwards one more time. And try this again. See, it's caught in that groove. Ah, you know what? I guarantee you that's what it is, too. It's that groove. Whoa! Lifted the whole damn truck up. Wow, it was really stuck down there. I feel like you would probably never have been able to drive out of that. I mean, it was that stuck. The only way you would have been able to drive out of it is if you drove backwards, and I wasn't really into driving backwards. All in all, it's a really capable rig, though. It's a really capable rig, and it's, again, like I said before, the best example we have right now of a Jeep Gladiator. I mean, it works so well for what it does, and it's really a pleasure to drive, actually. It's a pleasure to drive. It's a pleasure to look at. It's a pleasure to watch the suspension do its thing. And big props to everybody that was involved with this project. If you want to check it out, the link will be in the description below. If you want to see more mod reviews and mod spotlights, make sure you click that subscribe button and turn your notifications on. And if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comment section below.